Hi. In my last bearing video, we were dealing with the Watchtower's comments on Acts 9, verses 31 to 43. We read the text. We won't do that again, but we left off without talking about the Watchtower's comments about Dorcas and her character. Here is what they say in paragraph 23. This faithful sister used her time and assets wisely, abounding in good deeds and gifts of mercy. So they quote from Acts 9. Then in the next paragraph they say, we learn two important points from this heartwarming account involving Tabitha. 1, life is fleeting. How vital it is, then, that we make a good name with God while we are able to do so. And the second thing is the resurrection hope is sure. Jehovah noticed the numerous acts of kindness that Tabitha had performed, and he rewarded her. He will remember our hard work and will resurrect us if our life should end before Armageddon. So whether we are currently enduring a troublesome season or are enjoying a period of peace, let us persevere in bearing thorough witness to Christ. And they again reference 2 Timothy 4:2 that we talked about last time. I couldn't help but, in reading this, feel that it's presented in a very kind of clinical contract way. You do good things in order to get a good name with God. You do good things so that you can be sure you're going to be resurrected. Rather than talking about a person doing things because it's the right thing to do, because you love God, because you love people, it's just kind of a formula to get something, the way it's presented here. I don't know, that's the way I see it. So I think we should okay, maybe I won't go further with that one. Is this passage about individuals doing preaching work? Is Dorcas an example of a model preacher? The paragraph doesn't talk at all about her doing preaching. It talks about her doing good deeds and gifts of mercy. They then have a whole box called Dorcas. She abounded in good deeds. So they quote again Acts 9:36, good deeds and gifts of mercy. But they make this odd comment in one of the paragraphs, which I'm going to read to you here. Among the factors that endeared Dorcas to the members of her congregation was that she was in the habit of sewing for them. She made tunics worn next to the body and cloaks or robes which were worn over the tunic. Whether Dorcas paid for all the material herself or just provided her labor is not stated. In any case, she was loved for her kindness and gifts of mercy. I just thought that's very odd. Why would they think she's being paid for gifts of mercy? That's why they're called gifts of mercy, because they're gifts. She's not making money off this, and she's not doing it for that reason. She's doing it as a gesture of love and generosity. Don't we think that people do that as witnesses? I just thought it was kind of oddly put here. One other point that I wanted to make in reference to this box, they provide two quotes. The first one, they say, one scholar, and then they give you a quote from this scholar. But they don't reference who they're talking about or where the quote is coming from. They just say, says one scholar. I wonder why they don't tell you who said it and where it's from. The second one is named. They say, says scholar Richard Lenski, and then they quote him. So my question is, well, who is Richard Lenski? Why aren't they telling you who he is? I'm just seeing if they don't actually tell you where the reference is from in his case either. They just give his name. But who is Lenski? Lenski is a Lutheran pastor. Lenski did 12 volumes of commentary on the New Testament. Just to give you an idea of the quantity of material we're talking about, Lenski's New Testament commentaries in approximate would approximately be twice of the material that Russell wrote in book form, anyways. So, and Lenski's materials are still being used by Christians, still being read by them and quoted by them. We couldn't say that about Russell. We don't read his material or quote his material. They discourage you from reading Russell nowadays. Would Lutherans be quoting Russell, Rutherford, Freddie, or J.W. Org? Just in contrast. The other point about quoting someone who is a pastor in Christendom is, why would you do that? You tell us that they are part of Babylon the Great, false religion, and then you quote them in your material, in your books. Doesn't that seem to clash, those two ideas? Why would you be quoting people who are part of false religion and then not telling you they're part of Christendom, part of the church? I'm going to link to a video called Early Church Extraordinarily Generous. Widows, orphans, debtors, bereaved, paupers, all cared for. And that was based on a series that David was doing on Christianity and the social crisis. Thanks for watching.